Hey everybody, today's video we are going over a case study of somebody who complained of lower back, groin pain. When it's really bad, it refers down into the abdomen and sometimes deep up inside here. Okay, so we'll go over what worked for him, what we figured out was helpful to decrease some of that discomfort and get him back to his strength training, which was his goal. My name is Dawn. I work at Performance Place Sports Care, just one part of the locally world famous chiropractors here in Costa Mesa, California. And we're gonna hop right into sharing a little bit more about this case, kind of some things that we worked through, how this person presented, and then the one really magical exercise that finally took away the most stubborn pain that was sticking around over a few sessions. So let's go into it. This person presented mainly when sitting for long periods of time, they would feel lower back come on. If they didn't get up and move, it would start to migrate into the groin. And typically with sitting, it wouldn't go past that. It was just sticking to the groin and into the low back. Getting up and moving around was helpful. He understood that strength training could be really important for this. It was already a part of his lifestyle. So he'd go to the gym, he'd do things like squatting, leg press, deadlifts, single leg deadlifts, any upper body things. And it didn't matter what he was doing. It seemed like just the more he did, the pain would get worse. No specific pattern to what would bring it on. It's not like only squats would hurt, but everything else was okay. It was just like a threshold time issue. The more time he was exercising, the more this started to get irritated. So the main spots were here and here, but as it got worse, it would migrate here. And when it was really, really bad, he kept pointing kind of deep under here. And so as we got a little deeper into where he was pointing to, it was kind of like the backside where the bottom of the butt cheek kind of meets the hamstring, kind of close to the genital area. It was just a nice little stabbing pain into that spot. So first couple sessions, we were able to decrease pain really, really well. His daily routine improved. He wasn't feeling much discomfort. So we started to get him back into his strength training exercises. Everything was okay until we got him into the strength training. No matter how we modified it, it was that stubborn little spot that he kept pointing to that kept presenting for him. So I want to give a little shout out to Anna Hartman, who is an athletic trainer. I did her online program just to educate myself a little bit more, and she shared a really, really cool exercise that I tried with this guy, and it was very, very helpful. A super simple stretch into that groin area, and this is what worked for him, okay? So painful side is the side that's down. We're gonna bring the opposite leg up. Okay, so what we're looking for is a stretch somewhere on the inner thigh here. We lean into it until we feel that stretch. Okay, the most important thing before we do this is making sure we're not butt out. Okay, we're gonna tuck our booty under us and then find that stretch. Okay, so a little posterior tilt, a little lean into it until we feel the stretch through here. Sometimes you might feel it here. Just move that leg forward if that's what you're noticing, and now you'll feel it here. Okay, keeping that position of a 3 out of 10 stretch, we're gonna bring the chin to the chest, and then we're gonna round our upper back, and it's gonna intensify that a little bit, okay? And then we're just gonna move the head up and down, okay? And I know that my head is cut off in the camera because I don't have a camera person today, so let me see if I can zoom out a bit, okay? So again, if I'm still in that position, find that stretch, okay? Keep that posterior tilt, head down, round the upper back a little bit, and then all we did was move the head up and down, up and down. And here is how he described what was happening during that time. Anytime he moved his head up, his pain would be here. Anytime he moved his head down, it would go right back into that stubborn spot. So as we moved the head, it was boom, 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 until about 4 or 5 reps, and then it was gone. So we had to find the stretch a little bit further. Find the head down. There it is again. Into it, out of it, into it, out of it, and it would diminish again. So we start all over. Did another round of that. Find the stretch, keep the posterior tilt, round the upper back and the neck, and then floss with just the head, okay? Eventually we got to a point where he just couldn't even really feel the stretch anymore. His hip range was now what we were meeting, how far he could get into that abduction of his hip, and then we retested. His outcome measure was basically bringing his knee to his chest when he was laying backwards. So I'd pull it up to 90, and that's where his pain would set in. This time I went all the way up to his shoulder, and he's like, I don't feel anything anymore. So then right after that, we got into strength training. We were able to do like 5 rounds of 10 reps of some heavy goblet squats without any issues at all. So we finally found the secret sauce to his inner thigh and groin pain. So if that sounds like you, definitely try that little stretch at home. If it feels a little complicated and nuanced, maybe don't go through it on your own. Maybe reach out to us, see if it's the right thing for you. There's a webinar that might pop up as well that talks about hip and groin pain that you can click on and dive into. It's a free webinar that's educational, as well as try these exercises. Maybe this one's not the right one for you. Maybe one of those ones on the webinar will work better. But as always, we're going to recommend see a professional, get an examination done. Just make sure that the program is being, chosen correctly for you and your individual injury and body. Okay? If you would like to work with us, we can work with you virtually or in person. Just reach out to us via phone or email. We'd love to help guide you in the right direction. Talk soon.